If compression still feels like audio black magic to you, by the end of this video, it won't. You don't need more math, you need a shift in perspective. Stick with me and I'll help you finally understand compression the way nobody ever explained it to me. Now, I'm gonna give you a new best friend, and his name is Compression. Compression is that super mature friend you bring to a concert with you just in case you get a little too hype. You know what I'm saying? That friend that lets you vibe out, but the second you start doing a little too much, he's like, all right, bro, just calm down a little bit. Compression is just automatic energy control. He's not scary, he just cares about how you present yourself. Let's talk about threshold. How much energy do you need to express for it to trigger your friend to come calm you down? The line you draw where compression starts working. Anything below it, nothing happens. Anything above it, your friend is on his way. But how fast is he on his way? How urgent is it? Well, that's the attack, how quickly your friend actually pushes back. A fast attack would be like his actual lunge towards you is almost immediate the second you cross the line. A slow attack, well, the exact opposite. He lets your excess energy peak before he shuts you down. So you cross the line and your friend Compression had a fast attack on you, so you're almost instantly calmed back down. But how soon will he let you go once you get back down to your normal vibe? Well, that's your friend Compression's release. If it's super fast, you haven't calmed all the way back down to baseline by the time he lets go, which leaves you with more momentum. If it's super slow, now even if you've calmed all the way back down, he's still got his grubby fingers on you like, you good? Now let's move on to probably one of the most confusing parts about all of this, and that's the ratio. Now I'm not going to get into the actual math of what this stands for, and frankly you don't even need to know it. And I think most of the confusion just arises because the word happens to be ratio, which we associate with math and equations, and I don't know, I don't like math either. I'm here just because I like music, okay? Same reason as you. But all you need to associate the word ratio with is how aggressive your friend Compression gets the energy to chill out. How serious is he about not letting you cross that line? A low ratio like 2 to 1 is like a light shoulder tap and a, hey bro, just, chill it out a little bit, just calm down. A high ratio like 10 to 1, now that's more of a, what the? And when you go full infinity to 1, that's no longer a friend. That's your new parole officer. You will not act up or cross any line, period. Which is actually all a limiter is, a compressor with a brick wall ratio. Let's go take a look at a transfer curve, which is the easiest way, in my opinion, to comprehend ratio. Our sound is moving up and down this line just like a waveform would. As it increases, it goes up. As it decreases, it goes down. Now watch what happens as I turn up the ratio. That ceiling gets flatter and flatter and flatter and flatter. Now, in my early days, I would reach for compression just to achieve louder elements. And compression is great for that, but that mindset is actually counterintuitive when you're trying to learn it. Now, you might be asking yourself,
but Jackson mixed it. How come when I add more and more compressors, my sound and what the thing get louder?
This is because a lot of compressor plugins have an automatic or default gain makeup. Since compression reduces the overall level of the source, this makeup gain is very useful, but context is absolutely key. So always turn off auto or default makeup gain, apply some compression, and then manually bring that gain back up until when you turn the compressor on and off, the sound feels like the same volume both before and after. And guys, if you'd like to hear what real analog hardware at a professional level sounds like on your song, coupled with your newfound compression skills, I've got an insanely affordable mastering deal going on right now. It won't last for long, link is down there. Now this friend analogy and so many others are amazing, they're great, but it leaves us with a couple of challenges. The first challenge is actually understanding that compression is working on so much more of the micro detail than our brains are used to ever having to think about, and they just never have had a reason to think about. Let's take a look at the word hey. The word hey happens very fast, but in that small amount of time, the compression is doing multiple things. So what we have on the top here is our original hey. This is unprocessed, uncompressed. And you can see we've got the transient here, which is just that initial burst of sound. And then you've got the sustain of the sound right there. Bro, don't. This next example is the exact same audio file, but after compression with a slow attack and a slow release. So what you can see, the transient on this one actually looks almost the same, but we're noticing quite a bit of difference here in the body of the sound. And that's because the transient is triggering our compression, but since we have a slow attack, it's not clamping down till after the transient. And remember, this is all happening very fast. We've got to learn to listen for it. And then once the compression has clamped down on the sound, since we have a slow release, the compression is not letting the sound come back up in volume until significantly later. By the time the compressor lets go, the sound is already at like its quietest point. So our release curve ends up looking like this. And then this last example is compression on the same exact word, same exact file, but this time we've got a fast attack and a fast release. So what's happening is this transient right here is triggering the compression and it's grabbing it. It's successfully attacking it fast. And then you also notice something opposite of the last example. The body of the phrase is significantly louder because once the compression clamps down on that transient and this part of the signal goes back below the threshold, the compression is quickly letting it back up. So it's basically pulling up all of this information right here, reducing this information and pulling this up. I know that's a little chaotic, but I'm hoping this helps a little bit. Let's hear it on loop before and after with both slow attack and slow release and fast attack and fast release.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Now, the word hey works great to dive in deep and show the details of what's happening, but it's rare that we're really running into a sound that's one-off like that. So what happens when we're dealing with more complex sounds with lots of movement, or maybe a more complex word, maybe something with 3 syllables? What's a word with 3 syllables I could use? Compression? So now instead of 1 syllable, we have 3, compression. And all we have to do is look at each 3 of those moments with the same attention to detail that we did with the word hey. So for example, if I want a super upfront vocal, I'll speed up the release of my compression. That way, when this burst of energy in ka triggers the compression, it lets go of it fast enough for this to rise up in level. And the key to this is letting this rise up in level fast enough before this pre triggers the compression again. If my release is too slow, then this information is gonna stay down. I know this is kind of confusing, guys, but my point is just trying to show you how much of the details we're working in, how much of the attention to detail matters. That's the hardest challenge when it comes to understanding what it's doing. It's working a little faster than you're used to thinking about. The second challenge is learning to hear the compression. You don't need to grow a new pair of ears, you just need to exercise the muscle in your brain that dissects the information going in your ears. We have to learn to listen for it. Now, I've got good and bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. The only way you will be able to hear compression, especially in the light musical ways that we like to use it, is by actually spending time at the table with your hands on compression, running sounds through it. And the good news? Well, you can make every moment at the table count as double XP if you level match the output of your compressor to the same level it was before the compressor. Then A/B, turn it on and off over and over and over and over and over every single time you use compression. Now, we won't dive deep into all the different flavors of compression in this video, but I will say if you're looking for something super transparent only to do the thing we just talked about, which is molding that waveform in different ways, then think digital, something like Waves R-Comp or FabFilter Pro C2 in clean mode. And if you're after more of an aggressive, punchy style, think 1176's distressors FET style. And lastly, if you're looking for some like glue or tone, think something like an LA2A very mu compression, SSL bus compression, so on and so forth. I really hope this video helped you along in your mixing journey. If you'd like me to go more in depth with compression, drop a comment down below and also let me know what your biggest music making struggle is, and I'll be sure to get back to you and might just make a video on it. Thanks for watching, guys. May God bless you, your families, and your mixing skills. Peace out.